Hello, you chucklefucks. It's your boy, Dark Raku here with What If Issei was chosen by mythical creatures. Part 3. Other than that, let me begin to What If before I kind of go off and go do something else. But other than that, let me begin, okay? No recaps also. So, let me begin into where I last left off. But yeah, we kind of go into mostly the sun rising up. The sun shining through a window that's kind of open, and of course sunlight smashing into someone's face. Someone is just starting to wake up. This is where his kind of goldenish eyes are starting to kind of open fully. This is where he said, I'm so tired. Fuck off. Let me go sleep a little bit more. He turns around and kind of just like, mostly he was sleeping face forward, but now he's like facing to the right, mostly seeing his wall. And of course he's like, I don't want to go to school. Fuck that. Let me sleep. Yeah, he went back to sleep. This is where, well, his whitish hair is kind of like twinkling into the light, mostly because of it's white. So of course any light ray that hits white entirely, it just bounces off. But yeah. This is where, well, the person is sleeping. This is where he dreams about something else. Kentucky Fried Chicken. This is where, well, he's drooling in his mouth. But yeah, he's literally dreaming about Kentucky Fried Chicken. But yeah, for some reason. This is where, well, he didn't smell something delicious, but this is where he's still asleep and saying Kentucky Fried Chicken. This is where, well, we go into mostly 3 people right now sitting on a table. This is where, well, they're talking. This is where they realize one person's not here. This is where, well, mostly they look towards the older kind of brown haired boy with kind of like, what kind of brown haired boy? Mostly the older kind of person has kind of like brownish, goldenish hair. This is where, well, he has kind of goldenish, brownish eyes. And this is where, well, he kind of thinks about, oh, right, I forgot about Issei. I did turn off his alarm just to see if he would wake up naturally through the sunlight. This is where both parents sweat drop after, like, oldest son antics towards her younger son. But yeah, this is where, well, they said, why would you do something like that? This is when the older one says, oh, that's easy. It's because I actually wanted to talk to you in private without Issei kind of going in to be bothered. Or mostly bothering us for a second. This is where both parents decide to pay attention towards their oldest son, who is named Ren Hyodo. This is where Ren Hyodo says, I actually want to take Issei in an adventure. Mostly, not an adventure mostly, but mostly to travel around the world with me. I'm still studying at the University of mostly magicians and of course other stuff, but I'm right now on a 3-month vacation because, well, you know, well, I already almost passed everything, so of course I get to take 3 months. But that's not the point. I actually want to take him around the world to see other people. Not other people in general, just mostly meet other people than just staying here in Kuo. Staying here and seeing the same devils, probably a fallen angel, probably seen an angel one time, or maybe whatever, exorcist or whatever. I want to instead take him on an adventure, travel around the world with me. I know how lonely he has been for a while. That's why I actually want to start taking him around. This is where both parents nodded. This is where, well, mostly his father named Goro Hyodo kind of says, what about his school? Who cares about the school? It doesn't really matter for Issei, since Issei is considered to be golden heart status. Don't worry, I'll teach him all that I know in magic and anything that he wants to attain or whatever. This is where Goro nodded. This is where Mika says, but what about the devils that he's connected to? That's the truth. I don't know what Issei wants to do. Does he want to stay in the barrage or does he want to leave? And I might just try to manipulate him a little bit. He tried to get out of the barrage, maybe. This is where both parents see an evilish grin on their oldest son kind of like appearing. This is where, well, they kind of swatch up and say, Ren, don't do something like that. What happened if he likes the barrage? Ren says, no, complete bullshit. Devils are manipulating bastards. I refuse to believe, even if they're from a high-ranking family called the Grammary, and they're nice and blah blah blah. still refuse they're that nice and didn't decide to use Issei for their own game. So I completely refuse to believe that. That's complete bullshit. Because if they were wanting to help Issei fully and fight against some fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken, that's what, well, they would have helped Issei unlock his abilities much faster than just made him do a bunch of contracts. That was complete stupidity for, what's it called, a red hair heiress. Does it work well? They nodded at, well, their oldest son. Does it work well? Mostly Goro says, how would you know about that? I know about that because of this. This is where he snapped his fingers, and this is where a grimoire appears. A greenish grimoire that has 4 leaves on it. This is where, well, their parents, well, mostly both Mika and Goro are surprised to see that. A grimoire with 4-leaf clover on it. Meaning that their oldest son is one of the luckiest few to ever have a grimoire like this. His magic is so potent and so strong, and the energy just flows from it, just like if Mana itself is bowing towards their son, their oldest son. This is where, well, they're surprised to see it, but it's a green grimoire instead of being kind of gold. This is where, well, they ask Rin and what this is. This, well, Ren kind of says, this is a grimoire, the 4-leaf grimoire, one of the rarest kind of grimoires, but yeah, because, why I'm saying rarest, because there's other types of grimoires, and, you know, 4-leaf for fire, ice, water, any of that, but this is the wind grimoire, the wind, well, 4-leaf grimoire, and this is something that can actually appear. Come out, Belle. This is where a little fairy appears, with kind of greenish wings, kind of greenish outfit, goldenish hair and greenish eyes. This is where, well, she kind of has pale skin, and she's like the size of kind of like a cup. Okay, think of any cup. I don't know, like a bottle of soap. That's the size of what she is. I don't know how big this bottle of soap I'm holding is. I don't have a tape measure right now, but just say like 2 feet, or not even 2 feet, like 12 inches, probably something like that. Or probably smaller than that, 8 inch? I have no fucking clue. I don't remember how tall she was, but yeah. But of course, well, they are surprised to see the wind spirit itself. This is where, well, Rin says, this is Belle. Belle, say hello to my father and mother. This is where Belle bows down and says, hello there. What's it called? Mrs. Hiro and Mr. Hiro. This is where, well, Mika does bow down also and says, hello there, Belle. Nice to meet you. Thank you for taking care of my, well, oldest son. This is where, well, Belle nodded, and this is where Belle was kind of surprised. Oldest? Wait, does that mean you have a younger? Yeah, don't worry about it. This is where, well, mostly Belle is actually interested in actually, well, kind of seeing, because mostly Belle has never seen the, well, mostly youngest. Well, she's seen a brown haired boy, a lightish brown haired boy, but mostly when she asks and why she's spying on him, mostly, well, Ren always says that that's basically a friend of his that he usually is spying just in case that he ever wants to troll him. Which Belle nodded, but yeah. So half the times that Issei kind of falls or trips or whatever, or kind of has a bad luck or whatever, a raining cloud, is mostly what's it called, Ren trolling him. But yeah. Rin is just a big troll to Issei. And Issei's also a big troll to Rin, but yeah. This worked well. Issei, well, mostly Rin, we go on to Rin. Rin says, this is the fairy that's been kind of like looking over him. But don't worry. So, yes, I do have the grimoire 4 leaves. Don't worry about that, Mom and Dad. I'm much more powerful than you think. This is where they both nod and happy and kind of grateful for the wind spirit to take care of their oldest son, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly Rin kind of goes on saying, but I still want to take Issei with me to kind of explore the world, but also go to the university. I know you have to be a specific age. Rin is actually, I should also mention, Rin is not actually like 17 or 18. He's actually way older. He's at least like 20, 21, something like that. Don't worry. He's around kind of 21, 20, but don't worry. Doesn't work well. Rin says, I know that you have to be the age 20 to kind of receive a grimoire. But with Issei's status, I don't know if that will actually change for him instead. Because if he gets his grimoire much more easier and earlier, he might be able to contact some of the mythical animals much easier. And probably other spirits, element spirits. Because mythical animals is not the only type of mythical animals that you can actually contract. You can contract mythical, legendary, mostly guardians of different elements, any type, spirits of different elements. So that's why I actually want him to get a grimoire. This is where they both nodded. They understand what their oldest son is trying to do. He's trying to basically make Issei as strong enough as he can to protect himself by himself. Rin is not always going to be there to always protect Issei. So of course his parents aren't going to always be there to protect Issei. They tried their best, but of course they knew that Issei going to mostly mostly the school called Kuo, was going to be the biggest huge blow towards them. They knew that Issei might die because they knew he had a sacred gear. But they were just kind of hoping that the sacred gear wouldn't awaken or wouldn't be alerted to the devils. But they were slightly wrong. Well, shortly, wrong, but yeah. But this is where, we go into mostly Rin. Rin says, but that's all I want to do. I just want to travel, I want to travel the world with my brother, kind of mostly make sure that he is okay in traveling the world by himself one day he ever wants to kind of, be by himself or something. Or might just want to travel the world. Besides, you two should also travel the world. It's been a while since you two travel. Ireland has been much more booming in their festivals. They also somewhat miss you, father. This is where, Rin kind of said with a cheekily grin. This is where, and Gordon kind of just blushes a little and says, no. This is where mostly Mika says, the fuck you mean? This is where Mika turns around real fast saying, the fuck you mean? What is my son saying? What is my oldest son saying right now? This is where, Gordon says, I don't know what he's saying. Shit. This is where, before anything happens, a pan smashes into Goro saying, idiot. This is where Belle right now sees this and switch off, so yeah. She's still kind of flying around with a car Ren, and Ren is just like, sorry, Dad. Not really. He just kind of just saying that. Not really, but yeah. He doesn't feel that much bad. This is where Mika sighs and says, so, is there any other place that have you visited? Oh yes, I have visited, mostly Europe, mostly Paris. And not gonna lie, Mom, that painting that you did in Paris was actually amazing. This is where Mika blushes and says, yep, I made that just because out of kind of depression, sadness. Ah, I see. No wonder it kind of looked kind of depressing, but yeah, it was still beautiful, Mom. This is where, Rin kind of said, this is where Mika says, oh, stop it, son. This is where, mostly Mika says, but still, okay. So, how many other places have you visited? Not that many. I was thinking of visiting Russia, but then again, I actually want to take Issei with me with Russia. Why there? There's a lot of bears, and I know Issei can talk to bears and probably not attack us. Mika's like, right, I forget that you're not that good with animals. Unlike Issei, who's actually pretty good with animals, you kind of had the worst luck of having with any animal. That's why it's pretty good for you to have a wind spirit that is kind of somewhat kind of elf, and at the same time she's somewhat humanoid. Because I don't know if you had a different spirit animal. This is where that probably would have been bad if it was a fire dragon. It probably would have tried to toast me alive. This is where, they mostly Mika chuckles and says, yeah, that is true. This is where, Ren actually has a flaw, and that is he's not great with animals. Even a dog, he's terrible with. A dog will literally still try to bite him. Issei, on the other hand, has actually great with every single type of animal. He's really good with every type of animal. Just one problem, he doesn't have much magic, and he sucks at it that much. So yeah, but he can just literally go up to the worst, scariest kind of animal out there. Think of the worst, scariest type of animal, and I mean an animal, not a fucking. Think of a dragon, whatever. He can literally go up to a dragon and just hugs it once, and it won't attack him. Actually, the dragon would just seem comfortable around Issei. When Rin comes along and Rin has no barrier on, he would get attacked instantly. If he comes back with a barrier, the barrier would just be destroyed in an instant because, not many animals like him at all. Actually, none of them like him at all. That's the worst flaw that he has ever. But yeah, Also, cows don't like him, or pigs, or any of that. Chickens. Chickens would literally try to pluck out his like head, or stop just pecking him. But yeah, Rin has the worst luck with animals, but Issei has the best luck. Doesn't work well. Rin says, yeah, not the greatest with animals, but yeah. I'm good looking as hell, I can talk very great, I'm doing all this, I'm not shy, or I'm not an introvert, I'm an extrovert, and yet, animals, yeah, no. They're either scared of me, or just hate me entirely. This is where Mika just giggles and chuckles, and yeah, she knew about this because mostly one time she remembers, we go into a flashback of a memory. Mostly she remembers kind of taking Issei and mostly Rin towards mostly the zoo, and every animal had a dirty glare at mostly Rin. Bigger lions, and even one time when Issei managed to jump over the railing and kind of landed in a pit full of lions, like older lions, kind of like, what's it called, male lions and female lions, and of course like baby cub lions. Of course it worked well. Mostly Mika and Goro were horrified, even what's it called, Rin. But of course mostly the bigger lions just kind of carry Issei around, yeah, basically on their back. They really never did attack Issei. But if Rin was ever thrown in there, most of the lions would glare at him or try to eat him. But yeah, that's how mostly they found out that Issei kind of had the Golden Heart Prince status. But yeah, of course there was also a different. Mostly there was other evidence. Mostly his hair was definitely white, and kind of his eyes being goldener, much golden than normal golden brown. But yeah, but not the point. Issei not Issei, mostly Rin kind of just says, still, mother, will you accept it? This is where, Mika says, of course I'll accept it. If Issei does get out of the barrage, and mostly out of the Devil's Way territory, blah blah blah, are you gonna protect Issei away from the Devils? Rin nodded with such sternness on his look. This is where Rin says, of course I'm gonna protect my little brother. I'm not gonna let anyone get in my way. I won't let anyone get in my way. Even if devils and everything tries to attack me, I'll defeat them. Besides, I have such a powerful form, I'll probably be able to go against a Mao. This is where, Mika says, don't get too cocky, son. This is where Rin says, yeah, probably shouldn't get too cocky. Cockiness is probably the biggest downfall for humans. This is where, mostly Mika nodding. We go into Goro kind of waking up slowly, but this is where, Issei kind of waked up, and of course he got ready. He's going downstairs. This is where, Issei yawned. He says, I'm so tired. Why so early in the morning to go to school? This is where, Issei opened his eyes fully and sees his father still somewhat on the ground, slowly getting up. He sees his mother talking with Rin, and Rin talking with his mother, and then sees a weird looking flying elf thing, near bug or whatever, around Rin. It's actually a fairy, and this is where he didn't notice. This is where Issei says, I must be so tired because I see some kind of flying, what is that around you? Is that some kind of decorations? I'm so tired. This is where, Rin says, oh, no, this is a fairy. This is where, it's actually a wind spirit, a guardian mostly. Interesting, that's so cool. Ugh. When Belle took one glance at Issei, she immediately just kind of had hearts. Because Issei's hair is completely white. It's actually silky, kind of like smooth white. And of course, is where, it's spiky his hair, but still, it's just completely pure white. This is where his eyes are kind of goldenish, like really gold. They're not even brown gold, they're just gold. And this is where, he might look tired and other things, but still, mostly his face is kind of like, actually mostly his face is actually not a tan skin color. It's actually kind of palish a little bit, because it's kind of, mostly his body did reform during him taking a nap, but yeah. It kind of became a little bit palish, but not much palish. Kind of like smooth palish. This is where, he says, wow, I didn't know you had some kind of wind spirit. That's so cool, little brother. This is where Belle literally just kind of landed on top of Issei. And this is where she says, who are you? This is where she asks so curiously, in a very cute tone. This is where, Rin kind of just realized that mostly Belle has already fallen in love with Issei. This is where, well, mostly, even though he's terrible with animals, other spirit guardians might accidentally go with Issei just because of his good look charms. Yes, Issei kind of fully kind of became good looking. This is where, well, Ren actually noticed that his skin became a little bit paler. That's probably because of the unlock of mostly, probably the knowledge and the unlockment of the Golden Heart, mostly Golden Heart Prince status, but yeah. This is where, well, his hair does look more silkier than normal, but yeah. This is where, well, kind of also wet, but that's just because he did take a shower in the morning, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei says, the name's Issei. What's your name? This is where Belle says, my name is Belle. This is where she's kind of blushing. She has both of her hands on her face, kind of blushing and other things. Issei says, well, nice to meet you. This is where Issei puts a finger in front of her, and this is where, well, she kind of grabs her and shakes it. This is where Issei nodded. This is where Issei says, so, Mom, what do we have for food? This is where, well, Miko says, oh, right, you want pancakes? This is where, well, Issei smiles and says, yeah, I do. This is where, well, mostly Ren sees the smile of his little brother kind of just actually smiling and actually just brighten up the place a little bit more. How? But whatever, it somehow looks like he's like the actual sun. He brightened up the place. This is where, well, Belle is actually blushing, but yeah. This is where, well, Ren says, okay, Belle, well, it's time for you to go back to the grimoire. Sorry about bothering you. This is where Belle says, no, it's fine. But she just goes back into grimoire, but yeah. Just so she doesn't bother Issei. But yeah. This is where, well, Issei is eating, and of course, this is where he kind of looks at the clock and says, oh, great, it's school. Oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to go to school. This is where Ren grins and says, well, you're gonna have to go. Sorry about that, little bro. What about you? Don't you have school? This is where Issei said towards Ren in a very childish but somewhat cute way. This is where, well, Ren says, oh, I'm on vacation for 3 months. So mean. Fine, I'll be going to school. This is where, well, Issei gets up and starts kind of walking away. This is where Mika says, good luck. Have a nice day at school. Make sure that nothing happens to you. This is where, well, or kind of break a leg. This is where Issei says, that's a weird request, but sure. This is where Issei walks out the door, and of course, Koto managed to get up from the table. He finally gets up, but still is dizzy as hell, saying, what just happened? Huh? This is where Mika says, nothing, honey. I think you should eat before you get late to work. Right, work. Fuck. This is where he gets up, runs off, but he actually smashes into a wall, knocked out. This is where, well, Ren and Mika just sweat drops. This is where, well, we go into Issei, kind of getting to school. He's right now feeling really tired and just kind of just drowsy as hell. This is where he used to say, oh, I'm so tired. So tired indeed. What am I forgetting to do? Maybe I'm just... This is where, well, Issei noticed was a girl with kind of like orangey hair. Kind of asking, well, not asking, mostly, well, yeah, she's kind of asking for directions. And of course, where, well, she's like asking where this would be at, where this would be. People are just ignoring them. Mostly it's like 4 people, like 3 in cloaks and 1 kind of just asking for people's directions. But yeah, Issei goes up to them and says, yo, you need directions for what? This is the orange haired girl with kind of purplish eyes, kind of say, oh, yeah, we're looking for Koa Academy. Have you seen it? Issei says, sure, yeah, just follow me, I'll take you over there. This is where, well, Issei says, sorry, I'm just still very drowsy. I'm gonna need water for a second. Wait. This is where Issei kind of, like, goes up to mostly a fountain, just puts water to his face, just so mostly the drowsiness will kind of go away. But of course, he still feels really drowsy. This is where, well, Issei says, just follow me. You can follow me. This is where, well, mostly they're kind of like going to follow this person until a dog that was actually a Pomeranian runs towards Issei and just kind of, instead of barking at Issei, it decides to follow Issei. Issei was confused, but didn't really care. He instead picks up the Pomeranian, thinking it's kind of cute, just patting it, but yeah. This is where someone runs up to Issei and says, sorry about my dog being a bother. This is where, well, the person said, with a little bit of tint on her face, mostly a blush, because of mostly how Issei looks. But yeah, Issei looks completely different. even though no one really knows that this is Issei, Issei just looks like a freaking like supermodel or something like that. This is where, well, Issei yawns and says, no, it's fine. This is where Issei gives the Pomeranian back to the female. And of course, she looks to be in her mid-20s, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei then starts walking towards Kuo. Of course, where coming up is actually Kuo Academy. And this is where Issei says, that's Kuo. Yeah, that's Kuo. This is where Issei points at that giant school building behind him, mostly towards the girls. Mostly the girl that was mostly following him, and of course her friends or whatever. This is where Issei says, that's Kuo Academy. Mostly Kuo High Academy. So it's over there. Now if you don't mind me, I'm going to class. I feel very tired. Oh wait, you look familiar anyway. This is where mostly the orange hair girls say, really? Do you know me? Do I have to know you also? Issei said, Iron. This is where Irina goes, wait, what? Wait. Iron? Wait, did I hear that right? This is where someone almost burst in laughter behind mostly Iron, who is actually Irina, but this is where, well, she goes, she turns around, kind of cracking her neck and says, shut the hell up, Anise. This is where Anise, mostly a girl with kind of goldenish short hair and goldenish eyes. Of course, her hood is down, and of course, she's right now bursting into laughter, saying, he called you Iron! I'm dead! This is where, well, she just keeps laughing. This is where, Irina say, shut the hell up! Shut up! This is where, well, mostly, well, the other two girls that are trying to hide in cloaks just trying to stop their laughter. And this is where, well, mostly Irina turns around and says, how do you know that name? No one should know that name unless you're a part of the group that I was when I was a child. Wait, your hair, it's silky white. This is where, well, she actually wanted to touch it because it actually felt very compelled to actually touch the white silky hair. This is where, well, he says, can you not touch my hair? It's me, what the hell did you call me before? This is where Issei remembers something mostly from his past life when he actually called Iron. Well, mostly Iron kind of said, well, Irina said that her name was Iron back then. And of course, Irina usually when Issei did have white hair and other things, she mostly called him, was it called like Panda? Or even was it called Golden Eye Panda? This is where Issei opened his eyes and says, you should remember me? It's me, Golden Eye Panda, or did you call me a polar bear one time? This is where, well, Irina say, Issei, that's you, right? You look much more. This is where, well, Irina has kind of hearts in her eyes, and this is where, well, she never expected to see Issei. Issei seems to be a little bit taller and leaner. Of course, his face seems to be much more kind of like smoother than normal. Of course, his golden eyes are still bright as ever. And this is where his hair is completely white, but of course, this is where, well, it's kind of silky and white. Much more smoother. This is where, well, she kind of has both of her hands out and says, you seem to have gotten much more, how should I say, bigger, taller, handsomer, and I think I just want to take you now. This is where, well, Irina has somewhat of a lustful look, and this is where he says, like, I thought people from the church shouldn't be so lustful. This is where Irina snaps and is like, yeah, you're right. What am I doing? This is where, well, he says, I don't really know, but I'm gonna go to school. Bye. This is where, well, Issei runs off, and this is where, well, mostly Irina says, also, don't call me Iron. Call me Irina. This is where Issei says, sorry, bye, Irina. This is where, well, when Irina gets her name called by Issei, she almost passed out, fainted in an instant. This is where, well, they're kind of looking at her and saying, so do you know that boy? This is where, well, mostly Irina says, yeah, Rappy, you should also know him. This is where Rappy says, I don't know him. This is where her face, and of course, she had a very stuttery voice. This is where, well, mostly Irina says, yeah, completely lying bitch. I know you do know him, and I know your face is complete red. This is where Annie says, yeah, let's take off that hood, and let's see what your face looks like. This is where, well, mostly the other person says, well, mostly she takes off her cloak, and of course she has blue hair and a green kind of bang, and this is where her name is Zenobia. She has yellow eyes, and this is where, well, she says, yeah, let's take that off. This is where both of them has their hands kind of wiggly, and this is where they're actually really just about to take her cloak off. And this is where they say, well, mostly Rappy kind of starts running away. This is where, well, most of the person with a cloak. This is where they say, no, get back over here, chase her down. This is where Irina just giggles. Of course, this is where she's grabbed from the cloak by Zenobia, and this is where, well, she's being dragged along. This is where Irina says, well, what are you doing? We're not leaving you behind, so we're gonna just take you with us and chase after Rappy. This is where, well, Rappy says, no, I don't want to take off my cloak. This is where, well, and he says, no, you're gonna. This is where, well, that's happening, but we go into Issei, get into the school. Issei, when he walks in, everyone says, what the hell? Everyone just is surprised to see Issei. Issei looks completely different. For a minute, they think that this is a new student, but Issei's hairstyle is similar to the same, but mostly he looks a little bit taller, leaner, and of course, this is where, well, kind of muscular a little bit, but this is where, well, his white hair is the one that sticks out the most. This is where his golden eyes sticks out. Well, not golden eyes, he does have them a little bit close, crack a little bit just to see, but yeah, he kind of looks like Genichi model, but yeah, this is where, well, he says on where the fuck is Murahama and Masui? This is where he sees Murahama and Masui right now getting attacked by the two Kendo girls. And this is where Issei kind of walks up to, well, the two Kendo girls. And this is where Issei says, can you girls stop attacking, what's it called, Murahama and, what's it called, Masui? This is where both of them kind of looks up and see, well, they think it was Issei's voice because Issei's voice is the one actually talking. But it's a little bit much smoother and calmer than normal. And this is where, well, when the two girls look up, they blush in an instant. Right now, her face is completely red because they think they're talking to a supermodel. For some reason, they thought of Issei's voice, but this is not Issei. This is somewhere else that looks like a fucking pop star or something like that. This is where, well, mostly, sorry. This is where the two guys says, who the hell are you? Why the hell do you think we need your protection? Issei says, guys, it's me, fucking Issei. What the fuck are you guys even going on about? Also, did you two peep on the girls and literally got your ass beat? Sorry, but that sucks for you guys. This is where, well, they look shocked. Catherine, Moriyama, every person in the whole school looks shocked entirely. This is where Matsui and Murahama says, traitor! How do you look like that? Oh, hell no! How did you become this good looking? What the hell? This is where Issei says, first of all, that's completely gay. Don't, never again, ever say that in front of me. Fuck that. But still, what are you talking about? I don't have brown hair and my, oops, if you heard that, that kind of, man, that was me, I was dropping something. But this is where, well, they still say, don't I have brown hair and what they call brownish golden eyes? This is where, well, mostly they look at him saying, what are you talking about? Brownish hair, brownish golden eyes, huh? This is where, well, mostly Catherine grabs something from her kind of like bag, because she does have her bag. She kind of pulls out a mirror, and this is where she tells Issei to look in. Issei looks in and says, fuck, I forgot my older brother did something like this to me. Fuck. Well, yeah. If you're wondering why I look like this, it's just truly because I look like this. This is where, well, they are just dumbfounded and shocked. This is where, well, he says, what are you people keep looking at me? It's so creepy, you know that? No, I don't understand why girls think I'm so creepy half the time. Oh gosh, this feels very weird. Stop staring at me. This is where, well, Issei kind of said with such an annoyed tone that everyone kind of hears a rumbling of like some kind of rumbling. This is where, well, when they look at the fence, they see a bunch of dogs rushing straight towards them. This is where they're barking, and this is where the one dog that's in front of them is a Pomeranian, and of course, this is where everyone just looks at this with widened eyes and just starts running. This is where Murahama Masui runs away, but this is where Issei seems confused with the dogs. This is where the Pomeranian gets up towards Issei, and all the dogs just goes up to Issei and just kind of sits there. Literally sits right in front of Issei. This is where Issei's confused, saying, huh? Wait. Is this some kind of effect on my golden heart status? Oh, if this is, then, oh god, I think I screw a bunch of people over with their kind of dogs. This is where they hear kind of people running, and this is where, well, people are saying, where's my dog? This is where, well, they notice a bunch of dogs in front of one kid. And this is where, well, he says, hey, aren't they their dogs? I don't know why they're right in front of me. I don't have food, I don't think so. This is where he thinks he probably has some kind of like salami around him or something, thinking that his brother might have screwed him over. This is where it well, but he knows damn well it's probably his golden heart status that actually might activate it because he got absolutely too nervous or too frustrated with people keep looking at him. This is where it well, they kind of go up to the dogs and kind of grab them from the collar, and this is where the dogs started kind of going away, feeling very calm around Issei, and when they leave, they become back to cheerful self, kind of jumping around or back to stubborn or whatever. But yeah, there was one dog that was a pit bull and he's just stubborn. He didn't want to move. This is where the owner says, "Come on, get up, damn it." This is where, well, Issei walks up to the pit bull and just like pats him in the head and saying, why don't you want to move? This is where, well, the dog actually kind of barks at Issei, but of course Issei can hear what is said. "I don't want to move because it's so calm and friendly here." Issei said, maybe you should go with your owner at least. Don't worry about it. Your owner is actually trying to well protect you and other stuff. Don't you want to go with him with your house or towards his house and other stuff? This is where the dog says, "Yes, but still, it's so calm and nice and warm here." This is where he says, "You know, speak because of my aura." He says, "Don't worry. You can always see me. I'm always around here. If you ever want to kind of be kind of next to me, I'll be just around the school. Don't rush in too much." This is where, well, he says with such a calm toned voice. This is where a dog gets up finally and stops being too stubborn and starts walking with its owner. This is where Issei has a very he has a weird sunlight shine aura when he smiles most of the time. This is the person who was mostly the owner kind of has a tint of blush, but yeah, mostly it's another female, but yeah. This is where, well, she seems to be in her late 30s or something, and this is where she's surprised to see such a cheerful, friendly boy. This is where Issei gets up and kind of goes towards the school, and everyone's still staring at him. Issei says, "Stop staring at me. I am getting way too nervous." This is where, well, Issei runs off, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei is going to his class, but before getting to his class, he kind of noticed Sanji. And Sanji is kind of saying, "So, what do you girls want to talk about?" This is where it's mostly the council presidents kind of talking to him. And this is where they kind of, it's blushing, having tints, and kind of just poking their fingers together. This is where, well, Issei says, "Yo, Sanji." This is where Sanji looks up and says, "Hey, Issei? Who are you? Where is Issei?" This is where, well, Issei says, "Idiot. Sorry about the calm. Mostly trolling you and showing off mostly my original brown hair. My original hair is actually white. My original eyes are golden, and eyelashes and brown dye hair was mostly what you saw most of the time. This is how it mostly looked like." Sanji says, wait, hold the fuck up. What do you mean that this is your original, what you look like?" "Yeah, motherfucker, that's what I just said." "Does that mean, holy shit, you can literally become the Prince of Cool in only like a couple of fucking seconds if people see you enough?" This is where the girls actually tend to have more blush than actually thinking of what they were actually about to tell Sanji. They were actually about to confess their feelings, and this is where, well, they just see Issei, and Issei looks completely different. This is where Issei says, "Also, if you think it's actually wasn't my fake hair, you can actually go, like, remove the dye if you think that's actually wrong. Also, you can always use magic to try to take off my illusion." "No, man, I actually do believe you because for some reason I can see a golden light around you when you smile." "Oh, yeah, right. Sorry about that. That's probably because something of my family saying status, something. I will explain it later, but yeah. I also want to go talk to Sona for a second, but yeah." "Okay. Sure, she should be at the office. Sabaki probably is also up there." Yeah, I'll go talk to her." This is where, well, mostly we go into a POV of mostly a dark-haired female kind of looking over what's it called, a corner, and seeing, well, a red-haired female kissing a male with kind of white hair and kind of, mostly kind of yellowish, hazelish golden eyes. Or, they're not golden eyes, they're actually kind of blue. This is where, well, the red hair says, "Hello there, Vali." This is where, well, the person now known as Vali says, "Hello there, Rias. So, did you get out of your arranged marriage?" This is where, well, Rias said, "Of course, I used the Red Dragon Emperor to get out of it. Such an interesting boy. He managed to also use some of the Phoenix power. I wonder if my rival is that powerful." This is where, well, they're kind of grinning, and of course, this is where, well, Sona is just shocked to see mostly Rias kind of basically admit to using Issei in her manipulating games. This is where, well, she managed to take out her phone and does know that she had everything on silence because she just works like that. She takes a picture, and of course, this is where, well, if she ever meets Issei, she's hoping that this is enough evidence. But yeah. But of course, one other person saw this and of course did take a picture. Mostly someone that's very far and of course was on top of a cloud. A moving cloud, but yeah. This is where he grins to himself. Mostly he has brownish hair. And of course brownish golden eyes. This is where, well, he smiles and says, well, this is enough evidence to get my little brother out of her barrage. Well, so that's the White Dragon Empress. Or not White Dragon Empress, White Dragon Emperor. Well, time to go talk to Issei later. I also forgot to tell him that he still had his original form. Well, this whole school is going to probably screw him over or something. Or before any girls decide to screw him over. Or probably Irina. Maybe Rappy. The exorcists are here. I'm probably thinking they're actually going after the Excalibur fragments, but yeah. Oh, whatever. But this is where I'm actually going to leave it off for part 3 of this What If because I have to go. But other than that, bye, see you, and yeah, bye.